or courses that could understand better using this e-learning, because maybe when the teacher send a voice note that come and play again for me to listen to him then understand. Then too you got a lot of consciousness at least you know that when you go out you have to wash your hands then yeah, that's how it started me. Like so it was both positive and negative.
Okay. And here we, what are the impacts, or what were the impacts on your privacy? The impact of COVID-19 on your privacy as an individual. When we talk about privacy, we remember that sometimes uh, it used to be it used to be easier for you to leave maybe alone, maybe for you to leave at home and you only go and you come back maybe in the evening. When there was a situation whereby you had to be at home like throughout the whole period of time, and maybe you had to stay home with your children 24/7. What kind of impact did it have?
Privacy, that means
Your individual life, your
Vie
private
privée,
life.
par exemple,
your immediate environment.
les rapports avec l'autre, avec elle, les rapports avec les enfants, avec les collègues.
Okay, with my kids, as they all tied down to remain at home most of the time. The rate at which they were eating.
I said this thing.
The rate at which those children were eating was unbearable for me because all the time they had to go to the pond. Mama, I'm hungry. I know how boys eat though. I don't even know how they get in my house. So they used to eat uncontrollably. I'm telling you. Out. Looking at my own situation, I was not going to work. Financially, I was broke. I could not meet up with their needs.
Ok,
and then secondly, health-wise, I used to notice that most of the time they used to have this stuff cold, cough. But because of that COVID thing, I heard that you go to the hospital and easily contract it. I was scared to go to the hospital. So now I resorted to looking for things like herbs, grass, ginger, hot drinks to clear off whatever they had.
Et qu'est-ce qui vous empêchait d'aller à l'hôpital?
Non, la peur.
Okay.
La peur.
The fear of contamination.
Contamination, yeah.
Because hospitals were kind of a hotbed for contamination. That's the conception people had during the crisis, that it was easier to get contaminated in the hospital than to get contaminated at home.
No, I even heard of free screening for HIV. I could not even step out to go there because, as they say, free. You know, Africa like free joy, as you can see, free things. I could not even go. So I was scared that even there I can pick up the thing. So.
Okay. The conversation it goes this way.
Just to add to what she has just said, because having the children at home, no movement, you are indoors, the way at which they eat. And at times, you yourself, you are even tired, you are even bored, because you will shout from morning to evening. And another aspect that I discovered in my own house is that during this period, since we were indoors, I became more closer to my children.
That's what I wanted to say.
More closer to them. Because at times in the morning, everybody just go. You come back, even tired. I became more closer to them. I discovered what I did not know about them. There are many things. There are many things I discovered, especially without my male child with Valentine. Wow. There are a lot of things I discovered. I discovered many things that he could do since we were indoors. Yes, I could discover many things. The talent he had. That during that period where you just go out, they go to school, you go, you come back, you are tired. He did not even have time, but during that period he had a lot of time. There were a lot of things that he put on. And another aspect is religious wise. They coming together make us sit at home, praying together, singing together. We also discover what they can do and what they cannot do.
Wow. Amazing. You have something to add?
Yeah, this was the question.
Wonderful. They said, how did the COVID-19 impact your private life? You as an individual, maybe your life, your relationship with your friends, those around you. Yeah, when you talk about privacy or your private life.
It impacted me
Audible.
negatively.
Audible.
But I could not see my friends because so when we're in schools we were always together. So when we had to, because of the COVID-19, we had to go back home. So I could not see them. The only way we could communicate was through the internet. Then I got to be more closer to my family, so we could share ideas and stuff concerning God, and I think we became more closer. Yes.
You have to add something.
I've just said it all. But during that time also, I had a challenge. I lost my mother-in-law since people could not really meet together in a bigger group. So people didn't come to assist me. Just those that were really my people came and assisted me. So it impacted me negatively. Okay, I think everybody has had something to say already. All right. If you have kids, or if you have kids, what will the impact on their okay. Origin 7. Okay. If you suspect that you have somebody at home if you suspected that you have somebody at home who was infected by COVID-19, between traditional medicine or non-conventional medicine and hospital medicine, as we call it, what were your choices? What were your therapeutic choices? If you had a suspected cases in your house, what would you prefer? Would you have chosen going to the hospital or taking traditional, non-conventional therapies? Like we had at Tunisia, we had a couple of them that were really promoted within Cameroon. Okay, traditional herbs were better in your opinion. But she's saying something.
Okay.
In my opinion, traditional herbs were better because I had a child she used to have typhoid. By that moment, she was sick, she was down, but I discovered the importance of traditional herbs and it helped us. I didn't go to the hospital. So there are some things around us that they are really useful naturally, but we didn't know. So I had to harvest most of them, boil and give her. She was fine. Which usual I used to go and take 15 injections and 6 drips. But this time around, I didn't go to the hospital. I now discovered the importance of the herbs we have around us.
Okay, that's beautiful.
So just to add to what you said, I resorted to traditional herbs because I had never known or seen any, how do you say, modern treatment for it.
Okay.
For COVID patients. So I had known that there were two, I would have chosen that no, this one is better. So I just resorted to traditional things, the herbs like this fever grass, ginger, turmeric. How do they call this? This turmeric.
Turmeric. It looks like yellow. It's turmeric actually.
Turmeric. Pawpaw leaves. In short.
It's not even about Artemisia.
Even Artemisia, I had it.
Okay.
I had to just jump out. I used to say that everything in one pot with honey, and that's what we were consuming at that period.
Wow.
I was not like taking cold drinks again. We were taking only hot drinks. And it really helped us. Because by then there was a lot of this thing like flu.
And it was a flu season.
Yeah. So these traditional herbs were really helpful to us.
So you think maybe
I will not say I had a preference for something or I had an option. That was the only thing I could resort to, because I never seen or I never sat out to say that on TV they showed me that it's paracetamol that you need to eat, or somebody came and sensitized us on this. No, I never knew. I just knew that they were saying that you have to take things like that. That's what I took. So as you're saying, yeah, because you're saying that, which did I prefer?
Which would you have, if you had a patient?
If I had a patient, okay.
What would you have preferred? Maybe a member of your family was infected at that period, and you had to treat that patient. You were obliged to treat the patient.
No,
What would
I'm
you have
like, I'm
preferred?
saying that thank God I did not really have that type of patient who was down until I went for consultation, since I was like being scared of the hospital. I could not even think of going to the hospital. I just said, okay, as everybody is taking or going now to take traditional herbs, I also
Dive into it.
I dived into it, and it was helping me to.
Just to add to what she has just
She
said.
might come to
Yeah, you can go on.
Just to add to what she has just said, I would have also resorted to traditional herbs. Because when they are talking of this COVID, they say it affect the nose, it affect the throat. And we have been having cough catarrh. You know that when you have your cough catarrh, you take your fever grass, you take your honey, and you mix. And to another extent, we're even so afraid of the hospital. So afraid. That even if I didn't really had a case like that, I wouldn't have gone to the hospital. Because we heard that the hospital, they were instead injecting the virus there. Yeah, really. So even if I had a case like that, I wouldn't have gone to the hospital.
Wow. I didn't really know they had that much
No.
food, okay? Yeah.
Yeah, we have like we prepare the traditional medicine, like to boil grass, fever grass to drink, because going to the hospital, there are times that we heard that people go to the hospital that they were just sick of, maybe they just had catarrh, but they'll give a false thing that
Diagnosis.
diagnosis that the person has COVID. So, and they'll maybe isolate the person. So because of that, it brought fear and so we prefer to take the traditional, the ginger, garlic, and turmeric grass. And we do not drink cold. We stopped drinking cold water. We stopped drinking cold water. That's true. Because we stopped drinking cold water. We prefer hot water. Even in the morning, when we woke up, we preferred so even warm water before drinking. We stopped putting water in the fridge.
Wow. Okay, we were at the level of, you are a bit late. We are at the level of the impacts of COVID-19. And here we have had some discussion before. Here they were asking that, the question that everybody's contributing, that if you had a situation of COVID-19 in your home, what would you have preferred? If you had a case, would you have preferred traditional medicine or non-conventional medicine, or taking the patient to the hospital, which is conventional medicine to treat it?
To me, I would prefer to stay at home, because
Wonderful.
when you go to the hospital, you will not see anybody. You do not allow your family members to visit you. They will keep you. They will keep you in isolation, where you will not see anybody, because they'll be afraid that maybe you contaminate another person. So I prefer to stay at home. I prefer to stay at home in my own confined place, where they can even open a window and see me there. At least I will be comfortable. That if I'm dying, I will see my family members.
But you, if you are dying, you will see your family members. All right, we go to 9.
From there.
All right. What do you think of the contribution of Cameroonian pharmacopoeia? Pharmacopoeia actually is like those traditional potentials, traditional medication or potentials that we had that maybe were not exploited, and as a result of COVID-19, there was a lot of publicity. What do you think about that in relation to COVID-19? Artemisia actually became a magic drug. Ginger and garlic also became a magic therapy. Those are things that we actually ignored before COVID-19. Actually, I've taken Artemisia before, but it was just for malaria, and that was all. And I never really thought it was that strong. So, for you people all sitting here, what do you think COVID-19 did to our traditional potentials, herbal potentials that we have in Cameroon?
Yes.
It's because of this COVID-19 that I came to know about this Dr. Cleda, the parish priest,
No, the bishop.
the bishop of that Douala diocese. That is when I knew that he was like somebody very strong in this type of traditional therapy. And I believe his medicines actually worked, because I had a case with my friend's treasurer in his factory. She has a factory in Douala. So the husband was down because of COVID.
Okay.
He really had it. So she sent a message to me that she learned that they were selling this artemisia in sachets. Yes, at this pharmacy. So I had to rush there one Sunday. I picked up all the sachets that I made there. I took all.
Okay.
And then I had to rush to Bafusam, give her some, because they were really scared about it. Since our workers already were contaminated, so they were now scared that they could also contract it. So I had to rush to Bafusam, give some of the sachets there. Then I went to Guarantee and said, okay, I sent some to them, those in Douala. So the man actually took that artemisia and came back. He recovered. Plus what he went to Dr. Cleda and took.
Okay.
Dr. Cleda acknowledged the fact that artemisia was really good, and so somehow added some. So the results came out positive. You are seeing now.
Okay, he became negative.
He was negative. So the results came out now fine. It was fine. I said, yes, I could say.
Okay.
So that's when I knew that our own traditional healers, we're doing great.
Actually, when they talk about, maybe I should expatiate a bit, but I think all of us will understand ourselves. When they talk about the Cameroonian pharmacopoeia, actually, some of these traditional herbs, or some of these herbs are processed into maybe drugs. So they are in their natural state. It is really not like the one that we go to Ngambe house and take, but it is something different. Herbal therapy. Yeah, you still can classify them under unconventional medicine, but I believe when they talk about Cameroonian pharmacopoeia, okay.
Alright, somebody. No, it has really helped us to know that our traditional herbs are important. We used to neglect them. We didn't know. But this COVID has made us to know the importance that they can help us. We should not depend on modern medicines. For me, that's what I think.
Just to add, it has really made us to give more value to these traditional drugs, as she has just said. Because at time, these are the drugs our parents were using. But now with the hospital, when you are just sick, you just go to the hospital. So with this COVID, since many people had trust in the traditional drugs, it has really made us to go back to the traditional drugs. And also it has helped to publicize most of our traditional doctors, because many of them were abandoned.
Something to add.
Somebody
To add, this coronavirus has really helped me in particular, because I was very afraid of traditional medicine, because I used to say they are very bitter. But now in school, with the consciousness, we take artemisia every morning, and I take, whether it is bitter or not, I take, because I want to avoid COVID-19 not to attack me or my family, just like that. Even in school, we have now bought a big pot that will be preparing artemisia for all our school children.
Wow.
Yeah, so that is what is there. So children will now be drinking artemisia. So that's all I can.
Yeah, it made us, that made me to understand that, in fact, in addition to the modern medicine, the traditional herbs are also good, because we could boil it and drink, and it will even cure other diseases that we have. are just not only the COVID-19, like it could maybe heal other illnesses. So I think.
Okay, I think that question, I gave that question halfway, even though people actually took the question right to the end, because they gave something specific here. What do you think about the treatment put in place by Bishop Samuel Cleda?
Oui, tu peux avancer.
Yes,
Tu
okay.
prends la prochaine question.
All right. What do you think about your opinion about the obligation for everybody to wear a mask during the height of COVID-19? Was it a good idea? What is your opinion? It was the center of COVID-19, protecting yourself and protecting your environment. Your environment means people around you. And to do that, everybody had to wear a mask. So what do you people think about wearing a mask? Was it a wonderful idea? Did you think it was so stressful? Did you think it was necessary at all?
It was very necessary.
Why?
To me, because it's not only thinking about the COVID thing, because constant wearing of face masks, as we don't have bikes or taxis to get inside and get warm, even moving on bikes with your face mask, those masks used to help us feel a bit of warmth. Secondly, considering our hygienic conditions, most of these our bike men, when they get up in the morning, they don't even wash their faces. They don't even wash their teeth. They hold, when you climb on their bikes, the type of pungent odors that you get, those masks used to help us a lot. But those type of smells that you get, it's like it irritates. Thirdly, health-wise, as we were talking about the COVID, it really helped us because when entering any car or traveling, you do not know who is contaminated, who is affected, or those type of things. In one way or the other, it really helped us because it's really protected us from knowing whether you had to contract it. Though it was like stuffy.
Really stuffy.
You had to pull it down, put it up, put it down, put it up. It made us somehow conscious too. Very conscious.
So to round up, you think it was a good thing?
It was actually a good thing to me.
All right.
It was good.
Okay, everybody will talk as far as this question is concerned. Just go to
Just to add, it was a good thing because at that moment, that was the only means we can prevent one from contracting it. To another extent, that face mask has always it has helped us in another extent, especially for those who are always on bike. I live in town here going to Feta, and there's just like somewhere else out of Cameroon, very cold. So even after the COVID, I'll still continue wearing my face mask.
Okay.
Even though to another extent it was really like a constraint, it was really not easy. At times when you're in a car, even to breathe is difficult. Even with the children, I face a lot of difficulties. When you put, you say, "No, mom, I cannot breathe well. I cannot breathe well."
Rubber used to ache their
Yes.
ears.
Your ears.
It was good because that was the only way we could protect ourselves. Up to now, the other day I had to wear my face mask. When you wear it, you feel warmer. Yes, and it's good. It was good. It wasn't easy, but we get used to it, and we are liking it. It's good.
Okay.
It was good because prevented the spread of COVID. The spread of COVID, like we do not we need to be very far from each other because we had a face mask on. Then to a certain extent too, I think it was not really good because I don't know, it helped to even spread the COVID-19. There are people that do not know how to use the face mask, just constant moving and putting it on without knowing like how to move it or put it, because there are people that even move it, put it down, then they still take it, put it on their face. So I think yes, so the people do not know how to use it. To me, it led to the spread of COVID-19. Yes, because people, okay, imagine for someone who does not know how to use face mask, because the person remove the face mask and put it down. The same face mask, you take it, you don't even know the cycle, you take it and put it on. Imagine that the COVID-19 was on the surface that you put the same, the mask. are you putting on your nose? They have contacted it. And so it was suffocating because the face masks that were really thick and people did not really know the right cleansing material to use, so it was uncomfortable to use.
Good.
Yeah.
To me, the face mask was good. It was good and it is still good. Even though we are being forced to wear it, but it is good because it was the only measure at that time and it's still the measure that can help us to stop that coronavirus. Yes, because the virus is not, the vaccine for coronavirus is not still out. So that's the only means for me it is good.
Was it easy
Was
to
it
wear a
easy
face
to
mask?
It was not easy because it was not easy, but we had to take it. To me, I prefer the mask than to be infected with coronavirus.
Okay, it was the only option.
Yes, the
So you
only
had
option.
to, yeah.
The only option.
Okay. All right. We know in Africa we have a culture, especially in the West. People who come from the West will really understand this. A culture of bringing back our deceased to the villages to bury for burial. But during COVID-19, there was this trend whereby if you had COVID-19 and died in a particular hospital, it was a state that had to bury you. They had to bury you so fast that your relatives could not even have access to your body, to your corpse, and they did not pay their last respect. So, what do you think about these particular measures? Were they measures or how to live with burying corpses immediately,
Was it
not
a
taking
good
them back
idea?
to the village? Do you think that idea was a good idea? Do you think that would have been encouraged, or do you think the government went too far?
Excuse me. At one point it was good if they were like saying the truth too, because at one point, as I was saying, I thought it as if it was a means for them to make money. No matter who dropped at that moment, it was referred to as the person died of COVID.
Yeah.
And then taking your person to go and bury as if you are burying a fowl was like making you to think that they do not respect your family members. They took it as a form of making money. Right up to today, I can see, confess, and tell them that what they were doing was not good. If someone has been diagnosed of COVID, there were even no proofs from their medical reports. But whatever they wrote there was signed already. You coffin your person without you even going to see the corpse. They'll just say that they have buried the person. But to me, that idea was not that good. I did not like it.
Okay, nice.
Because if they had taken measures to prevent it, why could they not equally take the measures to give their person to you, and then you go and use those measures to bury your own person?
Was that really possible?
Because we were not skilled enough, or we were not competent to handle the corpses of COVID-19. If we actually believed that it was real, if you knew that just coming in contact with that corpse would have contaminated you, and it would have contaminated an entire community, I think it wasn't really reasonable to say they should give the corpse to you.
No, I can say I'm not totally refusing that.
Okay.
A handful of them died of, but they took it now as a
business,
means of making money.
Yeah.
To say that whoever dropped at that moment
died of COVID.
died of COVID.
Okay.
To an extent, it was good and it was also bad. It was good because it helped to prevent the contraction of the virus. To another extent, as our sister just said about making money, I got one person testifying of the corpse. They buried the corpse, and later on they went back to remove the corpse.
Huh?
They discovered that the private parts were not there. The private parts were not there. So to another extent, it was just like business making. When they say, when you just drop, they just say it's COVID. When they take, you want to go there with a woman, you will not see the breasts. The breasts are not there. The men, you go down there, nothing is there. To me, what they would have done, it would have been something like, maybe when somebody dropped, they say it's COVID. Why not they take the corpse and bring where they have to bury? They would have done it. They bring, like from the Bamileke, because even most people who died, they say they bury them in the cemetery. They remove the corpse later.
Okay, I will just continue. I'll just say something. We know that our economic situation is not so good, and we don't have maybe insurance that covers maybe funerals and things like that. And when people are struggling, it's really difficult to be able to hire a medical team. That leaves maybe Douala to Bangan. Don't you think so?
Excuse me, let me tell you sure. I think and I believe funds were sent to this country or worldwide to stop the spread of this pandemic. But financially, we are not the ones who were responsible for those COVID patients. We had financial aid from abroad. So you want to say that they were able enough to do it.
Okay, I am not in the nutrition, so I don't have much to say. But I still say Cameroon is too big. Okay.
Okay. To me, it was good to an extent because some people who do not have the means to bury their loved ones who died just use it as an opportunity to say he was sick of COVID, he died of COVID, so they should just bury him like that. Then after they are going to do cry die. So it was good.
So what becomes of the African culture? That's the part that, as maybe as a sociologist,
no,
I
that
really
means our
yes.
culture has been devalued, as I can say. Your culture has been devalued to take your own relative and bury elsewhere. It's not even a burial. That is throwing somebody. You know that after burying somebody, there must be traditional rites.
Yeah, there are rights.
There are rights that you have to, like, you carry on some rights so that you say, okay, this is the successor. He has to speak over the grave. He has to throw some sand in the grave. He has to throw some earth, and then our values were all devalued because of the COVID thing. I don't find anything valuable or burying someone elsewhere because they are just saying that okay, he died of COVID. No proof. I've never seen any proof of somebody. I have financial records that somebody was even crying on the screen. A woman said, oh, papa, enterrer ma personne. On a mis la personne dans le cercueil. On peut retirer les parties de son corps. I saw it. I watched it on Equinox TV.
Yeah, and there was a situation like that.
Yeah.
L'hôpital des Bess.
I will never think that somebody will ever be grateful to see his relative buried because you lack financial means to bury your relative. I've never seen that. Even you have a child with a thief, you can never allow that person to be buried like that. It's your blood. You have to bury somebody somewhere that you can go and even give respect to that person.
Okay, what's something to add?
It was very difficult, like for you to see that maybe your family member has died of COVID-19 and you bury the person elsewhere other than where they're supposed to go and bury the person. But then you have to prevent the spread of COVID-19, especially if the person died of COVID.
Okay.
Yeah, so it really helped to prevent the spread of COVID-19. So I think it was good. Though it was difficult to take.
All right. Here they are talking about the possibility of a vaccine, and that a vaccine against COVID-19, and that the vaccine will be compulsory for everybody. What are your views?
Possibility of having a vaccine, which is compulsory.
Can you take
They'll
that
have
vaccine?
A vaccine, and it will be obligatory.
So you're obliged to take it.
Yes.
Following the norms that the government has set down or what?
Okay, if we have a vaccine,
Yeah.
can
For
you
the
take
COVID.
it? Yes.
No.
Why?
See with the doubts I have about the illness. No, I cannot take it.
No, but I'm talking about an obligation. An obligation means that you really don't have any option.
No.
She said no.
For me, I will not.
Whether obligatory or not.
I'll say no because going through what they call social media, I've been hearing about Bill Gates and whosoever, those who are trying to wipe out the African race. Because of I cannot. I prefer to die of the COVID.
But let me just add something. Sometimes there's a lot of misinformation when it comes to situations like this because we remember Donald Trump took a trial vaccine when he was affected also. So when we say we are not sure and all they say on social media, sometimes we should also try to think it's propaganda because if the president of the United States could take a trial vaccine,
Are we sure that
Maybe theirs is
She's free
different.
to
Our own
she's
vaccine
free
is
to
different.
think.
no, obviously we are just discussing. But in the course of discussing, we are also educating.
Yes.
Yes, and learning.
My own point of view, no. Unless if I'm sure, as Madam was just said that Donald Trump took it. Are we sure that he took it? Because we need to see proof.
Even if you
There
see
should
proof,
be-
are you sure?
so that
Can
you
you-
send
can
vaccine.
you-
How do you
can
even know the
can
vaccine
do
when you
even
are
know-
not?
Do you know the vaccine that he was vaccinated with? No. The thing is that no, I cannot. Still, my doubts, I cannot take it.
Actually, I myself, I cannot take it because we are corrupted to a level that you can take something, but thinking that it's a vaccine of which you are instead taking another illness into your body. So I can't take it.
I cannot take it also.
Why?
Why?
Because I mean, vaccine is sometimes they don't have to force somebody to be taking. I mean, I'm not sick of COVID. I'm convinced that I'm not sick of it. Well, I don't have COVID-19. And two, I know that there are measures that if I have the COVID-19, I can do for the COVID-19 to be. So why should I go taking the vaccine that I can easily maybe do my ginger and garlic in the house and the thing will go. So to me, there is no need to, and I'm not even sure of the vaccine thing. We are just hearing it's COVID-19 vaccine. How are we sure that it's actually the vaccine of COVID? It could be something else. So I cannot take it. They should not force us.
To me, I will not take any vaccine because they can instead come and bring another illness into you, take another thing. Maybe they want to carry another experiment. They carry it on you. So I will not take.
Typical Africans.
But if the vaccine is made by a Cameroonian, for example,
No,
will you
who
take
can
it?
be manipulated over too. He can go and pay somebody highly so that he takes the vaccine and say, okay, since I'm a Cameroonian, you should come and follow him. I cannot. If it comes to that vaccine thing, I cannot.
Okay, you can go on.
All right, my own. I don't know how to.
No problem.
Let
I
me
will
see it
manage.
anymore. All right. Still on what do you think about the project to test the vaccine, coronavirus vaccine in Africa? What do you think? There was a project, just like she said that there was on social media. We heard that the Bill Gates and other vaccine lots were trying to sell their vaccines or test their vaccines in Africa, and we heard there was a lot of publicity and outreach. So they say, what do you think about the project to test the coronavirus vaccine in Africa?
It boils down to the same question as talking about the vaccine. So I don't even want to do anything concerning the vaccine.
Okay. Okay.
The white square
After
to take it this way.
After the announcement of the first case of coronavirus virus on the African soil, the WHO declared the absence of masks and how do they call them, respirators?
Respiratory
Yes.
Yeah, in Africa, where at its worst, which means that they did not have good respirators. But they call them respirators. Please, I'll look for that word later. Respirators. That Africa, the situation in Africa was dying, which means it was at its worst. So, what do you think about? Yeah, we don't. Meaning that the WHO said that, yes, I quote. They said the vaccine will be worst in Africa because even those respirators, we don't have them, and the ones that we have are in so bad a condition that will not be able to help the African condition. So they anticipated that coronavirus will really be a serious pandemic in Africa, which is something that, thank God, never really happened. So what do you think about that declaration by the WHO?
To me, they made a very big mistake to declare that because they are not God to determine the state of Africa. Maybe the way the thing was widespread and the way it was killing people there, they just thought when you reach here.
Okay, no, let me clarify something. What they are saying is this: given our situation here, the fact that our hospitals are not well equipped, and like in Cameroon, I think they had just about how many, about 5 or something at that time. There were not many. So, given if you look at the situation of the Western world, where every hospital is equipped with multiple respirators, and then you come back to Africa, where in a whole country there might just be 5. It is rational to think that if they have that pandemic, everybody who contracts it will die. So the WHO declared that, which I think created a lot of fear. So what do you think about that? In a sense,
Was it
that
a good
was it a
declaration?
good declaration? Did it create more panic? Did it make Africa to distrust the WHO even more? Or what do you really think of the WHO and its approach towards the pandemic in Africa? And that's another way of putting the question. Considering the lack of equipment in our hospitals.
It created much panic. Because considering the fact that you're already at a critical state. Because at a critical state, you have to go through a life support machine. And when they say we just have 5 in number, and maybe there are more than even 50 people waiting, this one should go next. A lot of panic.
Yeah, it's true as you say. There was a lot of panic because if you imagine that 10 COVID patients will enter one hospital and have only one respirator. You just have to know that if you come in and you see that somebody is in that machine, just fear can kill you. You're seeing that. So it created a lot of panic. Yeah, and fear.
It created a lot of fear, but thank God we didn't reach that level. The level of maybe having 10 patients at a time or 20, 30. We were afraid, but thank God we didn't reach that level.
We actually reached that level, but we did not reach that level where they needed the machines. Yes. We are talking about the respirators, yes. That the declaration of the WHO about about the lack of medical equipment like respirators in Africa, and that the situation will be worst, and that a lot of people will die. What do you think about it?
I heard it over the radio, and I saw it CRTV news. I myself was very scared. I said, "Oh God, have mercy," because we really die. And even mothers in the village, they were already saying that they are ready to fight with the coronavirus. To fight. They were asking them, "We want to fight with what?" They said they will drink all types of herbs, so that it really creates fear. I myself, I was afraid. I was really.
And you think for an organization like that, it was
No.
appropriate, or was it not appropriate?
It was not good to say that. It was not good
But
because
appropriate because they already saw that we're really in lack of the machines. And if it is, Indians had to attack us really. You know, with
Like the case of Italy, for example.
Tu la laisses, elle ne peut pas continuer pour cette question.
Okay. All right. We had a measure that the government took at the peak of COVID-19. We had a measure that the government took at the peak of COVID-19 about reopening bars. First of all, they closed the bars, which was a wonderful preventive measure. And then later on, for no reason, I should say for no reason, because the situation was not better. It was getting worse. And the government came in the middle of that decision and said they should open bars. Even though churches and other places where population used to gather were still closed. So what do you think about that decision the government made to open bars? Was it good at that time?
If the government should say so. Our authorities already know the type of people they are dealing with. Cameroonians are big consumers of beer. And they know that through that means they could easily get money through taxes from bars. Because during this pandemic, there was a lot of financial constraints, starting from our own top-ranking officials, because those who had factories, business places, lockdown. They had to lock down. And since most of them were not going to, you can imagine even teachers were not going to classes, all schools were locked down. So they saw that opening bars where Cameroonians like drinking beer all the time, that was a hot business for them to recuperate money. That's what I think. And I saw that it was not good because they said what was stipulated on their listing, that bars could be opened from 6
to 6 p.m.
Yes, from 6 p.m.
No, right to 6 p.m.
6 p.m.
So to me, I saw it as a stupid decision, because is it at that hour that it could not be contaminated? because we were not even respecting the social distancing on their this thing, for people to distancing themselves, because they say in a bar, how can you distance yourself? A lot of discussion in a bar, because when you take 2-3 bottles of beer, you become drunk. Is that so? So we're like promoting the illness, not even preventing us from doing this. That's what I can say about it.
Okay.
It was really, to my own point of view, it was a very wrong decision. Because it even make many people analyze that the government does not love the population. The government does not love the population. Because when we look at it, even opening the bar from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. As our sister just said, in bars, when you drink, you can do and undo. 1 bottle, 2 bottle, 3 bottle, you are off. So that was, to me, it was not a good decision at all.
Yes, equally to me, the decision wasn't good. It wasn't good because the number of contaminated persons increased at that particular moment. Because people didn't take care of themselves again. The barrier measures were not taken into consideration, and so I believe many persons increased. The contaminated persons increased during that period where bars were opened.
To me, it was a very wrong step or decision made by the government, because knowing that COVID-19, you have to maintain social distancing to avoid the spread of COVID-19, and for them to say they should open the bars led to, I don't know, to the more spread of COVID-19 because there was no social distancing. So I can say they were just doing it for their own interest without even putting into account the population. They did not care about the population. So to me, it was very bad for them to do that.
To me, it was very bad because people were now going to the bars. Everybody, they were drinking as if there's nothing as a COVID-19. When we traveled to the village at Batibo, I saw something. People were dancing, holding each other, and my elder brother was shouting. I said, Jesus Christ, that idea of reopening their bars, the bars was not good at all, because it really made people to contact COVID-19. It was not good. To me, it was not good.
Okay.
All right.
23.
Okay. As far as COVID-19 is concerned, there have been, or there were, and there are still so many conspiracy theories. Some people about the origin of COVID-19. What are some of the theories you knew about or you heard about? And did they affect the belief and the respect of the measures in your area?
What do you mean by that?
Conspiracy theories like, for example, there was no virus, there was no coronavirus. It was just something that the white man was using to, I don't know, to sell his vaccine to Africa. There was no coronavirus. It was just something that the Chinese, they even called it the Chinese virus, that the Chinese did. But since WHO wanted to give assistance to countries, Cameroon just wanted to benefit from the money. There was no COVID-19 case. I think everybody here, if you have ever heard about coronavirus, that would have been the first thing that you had. And I think, in my opinion, I don't know how it affects everybody, that was the first barrier and the first obstacle to the respect of these measures, because there are people who till date, somebody said she doesn't believe about it. Yes. As a result of that, a lot of people did not believe. They thought it was just something that the government was doing to get money from funding from the WHO. So did those conspiracy theories, I've just given you one, you might know others that I don't know, but did those theories affect the way you behave towards preventing COVID-19? Did it really affect the way you took measures, or in your community? Did you notice that as a result of that, those theories, some people did not really take effective measures to control or to prevent?
Yes, so
Not believing in the virus.
Yes, I didn't believe in the virus. So it made me, I was just wearing that face mask because others were wearing. And because of the pressure in the house, you must wear a face mask. I was not wearing it, I didn't even like it. But I was wearing because there was much pressure. That's why I was wearing, because I have not believed in that COVID. Up till now, I'm not still believing in it.
To me, I believed at first, but when they asked people to open their people to open their bars, I knew that that COVID-19 was not true. It was false. Yes.
I have the same point of view as her, because at first, as we were talking of this coronavirus, I had a colleague who testified the brother died of it. From the beginning, I did not believe, but then she said, no, that thing is really true. I believed, but after when they say bars will start opening up bars, just saying, it therefore means that maybe that thing is just another way for us to, our government to take money from there, to get some support. So they are just, because every day when you even see it in the news, the numbers they will increase. Today they will say this, tomorrow they increase. That's how the number was just increasing.
I don't even have anything to say on this point.
Well, at first I did not believe in the COVID-19, especially in Cameroon, because given that they said the places were locked down, like no activities, no church, and later on they opened the bars. So and that time I was even traveling to where, like when they said they opened the car to travel for school, and it made me, I did not even put on the mask. So I did not put on the mask because they had said they should open the bar. So and there were rumors that
suspect you. I tell you, travel
there were rumors that
they suspect.
yeah, so I had to pay 2,000 francs now.
To the police.
Yes. Because there are rumors that the thing is there is no COVID-19 in Cameroon. First of all, we did not see any case. We did not, like, we never saw any. We just saw numbers. The figures kept increasing and increasing and increasing in a way that we did not even believe. Then later on, when I went to school, I had one of my professors who was working with the COVID-19, who was working in the unit. So he told us, and well, I believe from him, then I believe that the COVID-19 is real, and I started taking the measures like putting on face masks and
Until your professor said it.
Yes.
Okay.
Something to add? Okay, thanks for coming. It was a great pleasure to meet you today.
Thank you.